final. What a night for Manchester United. A brilliant result for Tottenham. Chelsea smashing, I don't know what they're called, but they smashed them anyway, and they will be through to the final. Let's go! Come on! Honestly, the greatest result in my lifetime away in Spain for Manchester United. Absolutely buzzing, brilliant, majestic. My captain with a brace away from home in a European Cup semi-final. Thank you, Bruno. We got it right tonight. We've got a big show for you. We've got a panel coming. We've got your comments. We're going to open up the lines for you guys to call in as well. It's a special night. And look, we'll talk more Tottenham in the show. We'll talk Chelsea, but there could be an all-English Europa League final. There could be Chelsea. I think Chelsea look like they're going to be in that Conference League final. It could be against Betis. It could be Fiorentina. That game is in the balance 2-1 the last time I checked to Betis. But I am happy, man. I am happy indeed with Manchester United tonight, with our performance, our clinical edge. Your referee was good, wasn't he? Oi, oi. No, the ref was good. The ref was good. And do you know what I loved about Man United's penalty tonight? Man United and Arsenal dislike each other, but we share a lot of haters. And everybody that went in hard, Timber should have conceded a penalty. They had to agree with Man United's penalty tonight. Inject that directly right there, right into that bloodline, right there. Inject it. And it was a correct red card as well. But I am over the moon. I want to know how you're feeling. I want to know your views. I want to know your opinions on tonight's games. I am just blown away. I have to hold my hands up before I review the game. I was not confident going into tonight's match. I wasn't. We have a bad record away in Spain. They've got a brilliant defensive record. They're fourth in La Liga, a league I will not disrespect. And I was very nervous, very, very nervous indeed. And 20 minutes of the game, I was probably justified in them nerves, right? But, and a big Kardashian-sized Bahat. My team stepped up tonight. I'm so proud. I'm so happy. Look, keep your concentration for the second leg. We've got 1 foot in the final, but we must remain concentrated. We mustn't get complacent. We need the crowd to be electric at Old Trafford next Thursday. And we may book ourselves into a European Cup final with a chance of eternal glory. And that is what we're chasing down here in a bad season for us by and large. But, oh, my God, I'm just happy with the boys tonight. I really, 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 really am. Well done, as I say, to Chelsea. Very, very good tonight. They won 4-1. They're going to that final. There's no doubt about it. We're going to have Andrew Barnes on later and some Chelsea fans to speak about it. Tottenham was a real interesting one, actually. I want to just speak on Tottenham for a moment because Spurs, to me, tonight, I thought they were brilliant, actually. I thought for 95% of that game, they were brilliant. But they've gone and conceded a goal. And I heard a stat, and I'm going to get the number wrong now. I think it's something like 37 out of their last 40-odd games at home in Europe. Bodoe Glimt have won. They have a tremendous home record. Spurs have got 1 foot in the final as well. Where it could go wrong is if Bodoe Glimt get that first goal away from home. No noise to move Spurs forward. The artificial pitch. That goal right at the end, I feel just took the shine off the night for Spurs, but they should still go through. There is no doubt about it whatsoever. Tottenham should go through. They should from this point. They've got a 2-goal lead. They were by far the better team. If they go to Norway, play professionally, play in a calm manner, hit that defensive line a little bit deeper than they normally do, think the game out. It doesn't even matter if it's a horrible 0-0 that the world refuses to ever watch again. Get yourselves into that European Cup final and try and win yourselves a trophy. That's what Tottenham have got to do. They were already the favourites to win this tournament. They're the massive favourites now after that result tonight. So I want to say congratulations to Spurs because I did think they were good. I probably watched about 30% of their game. I was so fixated on Man United. But what I saw, they looked good. A great early start to the game for Tottenham with Brennan Johnson scoring in the opening 37 seconds. Maddison, assisted by Porro, making it 2-0 on about the 35th minute. The penalty on the 61st minute, Stonewall penalty, Romero getting kicked. And it looked done and dusted. The goal on the 83rd minute, as I say, just gives Bodoe Glimt a little bit of hope. But if Spurs can get to that second leg, get to the second half without conceding, I think they'll be through, no problems whatsoever. I think it will be pretty much a walk in the park for them. I really, really do. Really, really do. So well done and fair play to Tottenham. What I'm going to do as well, because I don't know who's actually going to be coming through tonight from the Football Terrace, the usual callers. I'm actually going to share the link now. Call in. If you're a Spurs fan, if you're a Chelsea fan, if you're a Man United fan, you want to have your say on tonight's games. It was a brilliant night in Europe for all of us. It really, really was. We're going to share the link for you guys to come on and have your say as well. We will bring you in as callers once we've had the panel on. So if you want to do that, we'll pin that in there for you right now. Shout out to our title sponsors as well, NordVPN. Get that QR code scanned. Get yourself protected online. You need to be protected tonight in the same way Maguire and Lindelof and Yoro protected Manchester United. You've got to go and get that done. You've got to go and get it done. Do you know what? Dyke's reminded me here as well. What was even better for Chelsea tonight than their win was Forest losing 2-0. Even better night for Chelsea. If their fans aren't starting to get excited yet, fuck yourself. Stop watching football. Fuck yourself. Stop watching football. Disappear. The game ain't for you. Go pay tiddlywinks. See you in a bit. But yes, Manchester United tonight. Let me break this down and let me get into my club for a moment. We destroyed Bilbao Athletic Club away from home in Spain, and I am so proud. Now, the opening 20 minutes, we were a little nervous. I saw the starting lineup. I saw that fraud Staffy kicking off. What's this manager doing? He better know what he's doing. This is a crazy decision. The manager got it spot on. He identified in his analysis of Bilbao that there would be weaknesses. And we exploited it very early on, but the goal was offside for Garnacho. And Bruno Fernandes in his opening 20 minutes was screaming at his teammates. The ball's on all the time. They're leaving Garnacho in acres of space. 1-2 touches, bang. 1-2 passes, get it out, bang. There's so much space to run into. But the players were a little bit fazed by the noise and the atmosphere. The players weren't being professional. Lindelof made some heavy touches. The first 20 minutes, I thought that Ugarte was having a stinker, but I understood why he was on, because he was winning the ball back in the right places. His distribution, it wasn't just poor, because we know he's not Frankie de Jong. We know that he isn't Paul Scholes. We know that he isn't anybody of that level, but he's much better than he performed in those first 20 minutes. And I looked at it and thought, we just need to get him out. Get Mainu on now, and I think we win this game. I could see it. In those poor moments where we gave possession away, Williams should have scored. Should have scored with a header, 110%. They had another great chance where Williams cuts the ball back. And in fairness to Lindelof, a brilliant interception to stop a clear tap-in, and then a wonderful block on the line to stopping them from making it 2-0. Onana made a really good save, and I am sitting there, but I was fuming, not because we were conceding chances, but I felt they were almost unforced errors by Man United, and we just needed to relax and play our game, keep our heads for a moment. And then we got a free kick, a rightful free kick, and played a bit of football again. And I was saying to KJ earlier on today, I spoke about this on the United stand last night, that for me, it was I haven't watched enough of Bilbao to have an outright, full, frank opinion on how good or bad they are. And plus, sometimes you just need to see your team against them to know. And in the opening 20 minutes, I had this confidence in me that if we could just relax and pass the ball, we could break them down and create chances. Maguire, sorry, he's not Maguire tonight. Harry Mamao, right? Harry Mamao on that right-hand side, doing up Yamal shit, bruv. That's the only player I can compare him to tonight. Step away, Yamal. Maguire is the guy tonight. Man's chopping. Man's a 6'5", 16-stone centre-back doing that on a wing in a European semi-final. The cross was great. Ugarte gets on the header, and Casemiro, that I'll get onto later, what a header from him. 1-0 lead. Game changed. The game changed in that moment. It changed in that moment. Bilbao became a little stretched. They became a little stressed. We won the ball back high now ourselves. Now we started pressing with some aggression because we smelt a little bit of blood. We win the ball back. A brilliant move. Garnacho, he slips, but he gets back up again, gets the ball to Maz. Maz crosses the ball in. And I'm glad we got the penalty and the red card. By the way, 100% a penalty. You can see him clearly grab, no attempt to play the ball, grabs Rasmus Højlund and pulls him back and twists him out the way of the ball. Rasmus would have tapped that in to make it 2-0, which would have been an amazing start. But I'm glad they went down to 10 men and we scored the penalty because that killed the tie for us. But the tie was killed not through luck. The tie wasn't killed because the referee made a bad decision. The tie was killed because we tore them apart, and the only way they could stop us going 2-0 up was to commit a red card offence. Stonewall penalty, Stonewall red card. Bruno Fernandes then steps up. Bang, he buries it. Of course he does. Buries it. And then we're just on top. Controlling the game, moving the ball well. A nice little bit of intricate play at the edge of their box. Bruno Fernandes through again. Bang, 3-0. The tie from this point should be over. Now, that isn't me counting my chickens because I never do that in football. It's not my way. It's not the way I see things. But it should be over from here. We should not collapse from this point. If we have anything about us, we should not be collapsing from this point as a football club. But that third goal is important. We then got the clean sheet. I want to shout a few players out tonight, first and foremost. Maguire, fantastic defensively, brilliant in the attack for the chop back and the cross and everything else. Casemiro, actually my man of the match. I know Bruno gets a brace, but Casemiro for me with the goal and his overarching performance. And I want to say this, by the way, Jamie Carragher, a lot of people told you were wrong and you need to come out and apologize. The football wasn't leaving Casemiro. Ten Hag's island and a lack of fucking shape was costing that man. We all know that he's not Paul Scholes on the ball. Don't judge him by those standards. But another thing, Jamie Redknapp, you trainer selling mofo. What players has he improved? Ruben Amorim, Casemiro. From what everybody was saying about him 12 months ago till now, that is an improved football player. So stick that in your pipe and fucking smoke it. Brilliant Casemiro today. I thought that Garnacho had a very solid game. Unlucky really not to be on the score sheet or an assister, but his overarching performance was good. Rasmus, I thought actually he played really well tonight, held the ball up well, won some of his physical battles, would have scored if it wasn't for the foul that led to a penalty. Happy with what he did. Mads tonight at right wing back, out of this world. Well done to you, Mads. You were brilliant. Now listen, Lenny Yoro tonight. Majestic, calm, composed, professional, mature. I loved everything I saw from Lenny Yoro tonight. There is a player in there indeed. There is no doubt about it whatsoever. And although I've given man of the match to Casemiro, which I probably should have saved him until last, I just want to shout out Bruno Fernandes. Another top-class performance. Even in that opening 20 minutes, he was excellent. Creating chances, leading, directing, trying. He did calm us down eventually. I loved it. The penalty. Listen, penalties are real goals. Only a mug, only a fool, only an imbecile would say penalties are not real goals. The pressure when that penalty had to be taken. The pressure. You could hear it. The crowd were turning. By the way, I love the club, Bilbao. I've got no bad word to say against them. They felt hard done by tonight. But when they go home and see those replays, in their heart of hearts, they're an honest club. They will know it was a red card. But the noise that Bruno was up against for that penalty, and he was cool, calm, collected, and buried it. He then gets a brace. I was hoping to get the hat-trick tonight, just because he'd become the only player in Manchester United history to score 2 hat-tricks in knockout football in Europe, which has never happened before. But a sensational performance from him. I loved this in the second. A few little moments that I criticised, but the second half I actually liked more than the first half. We were just calm. We were cool. We didn't create any real problems for ourselves by and large. And I think we'll grow from that as a team. It was great to get Delit and Ahmad. You saw Ahmad. Ahmad looks sharp, considering he just come on. But I was so proud of the boys tonight. I was nervous. I didn't know if we could. I was happy with a draw before the game started. I would have taken a draw. We know how good Bilbao can be, their defensive record. But we smashed it tonight. We smashed it. And yes, the only element where I'd say there was a little bit of luck was Williams missing that headed opportunity 10 minutes into the game. But I'm not going to say it's luck that Onana made a save. I'm not going to say it's luck that our defender got a block in. The same way that none of you said it was lucky that Man United capitulated and Lyon scored 4 goals. That was because Lyon were brilliant, wasn't it? When Onana was letting in goals in the Sociedad game, nobody was saying, Sociedad got well lucky tonight. You were laughing. So again, just for a little bit of fun, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. You amoebas. How'd you like them apples? I love it. I just love the fact we weren't even lucky tonight. We actually deserved it as well. It wasn't a stink fest. No one can say we scammed it. And at least for 24 to 48 hours, there won't be no negative stories coming out about my football club. So love it, love it, love it indeed. The only element I was feeling a little bit worried about, and I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, is I really don't want to play Tottenham in a final. Because as much as I never fancy Spurs in finals, I don't want to be the team that loses to them in the final, because I don't know if I can ever see my dad again. If that happens, the next time I see my dad's at his funeral. That's going to be it. It'll be, Dad, I'll see you when you're dead, bruv. See you later. I'll carry a coffin, but that's it. Dad, see you later. I won't be able to face him. But yeah, well done to United tonight. Well done to Tottenham. Thoroughly, thoroughly deserved. Going to bring the panels out in a moment. We've got KJ, we've got Andrew, we've got Cam. We've got Kate coming on. We're going to be taking calls from Enrique and James and Elijah who are backstage. So stay backstage, people. We're going to get you on tonight. Oh, I can breathe now. Oh, what a night, man. What a night. Maguire, defender, winger, striker. He's better than Salah. It's proven. Obviously, we know you're having a little bit of a joke and a laugh there, but I will say this, man. Harry Mamau. I couldn't think of a better one off the top of my head. If anyone can think of a better one, then you tell me. Hassam said it's double jeopardy, no red card. No, there isn't. Okay, so this is where Hassam doesn't know the rules of the game. It's double jeopardy if there is a clear attempt to play the ball. So had the Bilbao player, I forget his name now, is it Vivian? Had he made a slide tackle to intercept the ball and tripped Højlund up, it's a yellow card. If there is no attempt to play the ball, so you pull their shirt or their arm, and deny a clear goal scoring opportunity, it's a red card. Outside the box, it doesn't matter whether it's a pull or a tackle, it's a red card. So again, Hassam doesn't know the laws of the game. Don't listen to Hassam. He's a fraud. That's a bit of a joke. Hopefully you can hear the sarcasm. I wasn't expecting that performance, and they stuck to the plan. Happy for the win. Let's do it again next week. Happy to see the players back. Tony, I agree with you 110%, mate. Great to see the players back. Hope we can do it again next week in terms of seeing the game through. But listen, man, there's the potential for a real brilliant, a really fantastic final, an all-English final, which would just end the horrific Premier League season in style, wouldn't it? The 2 worst top 6 teams in the final. Can you imagine? Ha! Would love it. Happy we got the result. Annoyed that we have a man advantage and didn't use it to slow the ball like we're through. But I wish the manager would be a little aggressive at the start of the second half. No, I think he made the right decision, Joshua, at the start of the second half. Kill the game, slow it down. We tried to score nearer the end once they were knackered and tired. But if they would have got a goal back, that crowd would have been up. We'd have left space. That crowd would have got up. And we did try and score, but it's very hard often to score against 10 men. And we got that third goal because we actually exploited them. They were a little bit discombobulated. They were frustrated. They had half time to clear their heads, and they actually sat very, very well in a 4-4-1. They allowed very little space. We did have chances. The shots just weren't good enough. I would have liked a fourth, but that's not letting me dampen the night for me, mate. That's not dampening my night. Congrats to United and Spurs. Come on, you Gooners. Fair play to you, Sunra, for that there. Fair play. I feel like we're starting to see the once drying embers of Man United begin to glow brighter. Nothing is fixed. but there really is something there. Tim, what you're seeing is it wouldn't be the same in the Champions League because they're better teams. But in Europe, we have had similar to superior physical attributes to our opponents, and that's why we haven't lost a game so far. In the Premier League, most teams are superior to us physically. You give this manager some better technicians with superior physicality to what we have now. I stand on this. If I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up like a man. You will see a far superior team next season that will exponentially grow over the course of the campaign. The blueprint is there. If you can't see it, maybe you're too angry, maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're ignoring it. And I understand all those things, but it is there. You add better quality into this team. And even tonight, when we were playing nice, still some really heavy touches from players. And you should have kept the ball there. You add better. You had Cunhas, you had Gyökeres's, you had Delaps, you had Edersons, you had Frimpongs, you had Garcias, you had Inacios to this team. And I'm just naming players we're legitimately linked to. Of course, we become a better side. Players may be mid, but that badge carries weight. Of course it does. European heritage. Man United have it. Anyone who believes we don't is a fool. Same as our old great coach, Sir Alex Ferguson. Only 2 managers in the history of the competition have got more European trophies than Sir Alex Ferguson. So good to see Ahmad back. Even that cameo, you can just see the quality the lad has. 1 foot in the final. Just need a mature performance at Old Trafford. Owen, it's the best super chat I've seen in a long time on United. Mature performance. Don't concede any stupid early goals. Score the first one ourselves. Get ourselves through to that final. And then there is the potential to end this season on a high. Rebuild properly in the summer in terms of this squad. And we go again. It would be amazing. And listen, Spurs will feel the same. We know Big Ange's gone at the end of the season. I think everybody knows that. They'll feel the same. Win a trophy, add to your European heritage, get yourself some Champions League money and positions. New manager for them would come in. So listen, both teams will be absolutely gunning to get in that final and win it now. Amazing win, cherry on top if Spurs bottle it. Listen, I don't want Spurs to bottle it because I want to laugh at Spurs. I want Spurs to bottle it, Nabil, because I don't want to see him in the final. I don't want to play him in the final. There's just something about it that feels off-key to me. Something feels dodgy. And I don't want to play him in the final. That's why I want Spurs to throw it away in the second leg. But at the same time, a Man United Spurs final, I wonder, who wants this wager? 100 quid to charity. Man United Spurs final gets more views on British TV than whatever the Champions League final is. Who wants a wager? British TV, not global. Globally, the Champions League final will win. British TV, Europa League final gets more views. If it's an all-English affair. By the way, you got to remember the size of the Man United fan base. And I'm going to give you guys, before you take the bet, Man United fans would tune in. You would then have Liverpool fans all tuning in, see if we lost. Spurs fans tuning in. And you would have Arsenal and Chelsea fans all tuning in to see if they lost. Just factor that in for a moment. Let me know. Always think best time to score against 10 men is straight after it when the manager hasn't had time to adjust his team. Love how we played in the second half. I agree with you, Sam. I thought the second half was brilliant. Terry, we didn't need Ugarte to start the second half. Look, maybe you're right, Josh. And listen, you know how much I respect and love you, Super Chat loads. There's just nothing negative tonight for me as a Man United fan. I'm going to respect your opinion. You're entitled to it. But for me, we played as close to perfect as we could. If I offered you 3-0 before the game started, this is how I want you to look at it and just see if your mindset changes. If I offered you 3-0 before the game started and I promised you no injuries and no suspensions for the second leg, would you have taken it irrespective of the tactics, the scenario, the starting lineup and the subs? If the answer is yes, just enjoy tonight, my friend. Just enjoy it. That would be my message to you. Yes, Cam, you can go first. I'm going to bring the panel out now, people, to have their say on the show. Who we got paddle-wise? We have got, obviously, KJ. We've got Cam. We've got Kate. We've got Andrew Barnes. We've got Elijah. We've got some callers backstage. If you want to phone in tonight and give me your opinions, feel free to click on the link in our live chat now. Canadian Cam, what a night tonight. Talk to me, brother.
I do it. I've been saying it. I've been confident. Like, I've been saying it since we got them. I'm not worried about them. I actually called the 2 DMs too. And the reason why is I went back and obviously watched some of Amorim sporting games. If you've ever watched how he set up, he plays with 2, like, people need to get ready for this next year. He plays with 2 DMs a lot. This isn't new. This is something he actually likes to do. It causes a lot of chaos. We saw it tonight. Like you said, Ugarte's job is go in there, break up play, find somebody, and then get it to somebody out wide quick. It's the same role he played for Sporting. So it's just nice to see a manager he's sticking to his principles. He's like, I know what works. If the players figure it out, they figure it out. And tonight they figured it out perfectly. Like, it was like outside of the first 20 minutes where I was kind of in and out watching, where we looked a little bit shaky. We took control of the game, and this is exactly what we need, man. We need to see, like, I'll stay consistent. We just need to see the players learning and understanding a system and how to play within it. The chances will keep coming. You can just see us continuously getting to a point where, like, you see the frustration from guys not getting on the end of things versus the pass is not coming, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be, you see nothing. There's no pass. There's no cutbacks. There's no overhit cross by Dorgu. Some people were saying it's overhit. I thought it was fine, and it was definitely a penalty in my opinion. The second one, the only reason they didn't give that penalty is because of where the game was at. That was without a doubt a stonewall penalty. But they're like, man, it's already out of hand, so they didn't give it to us, which is fine. But yeah, I'm looking for. I have no problem saying we're going to be in the finals, since I said it already. I'm not looking forward to playing Spurs. I've also said that since the beginning of this tournament. It's the only team I do not want to play. This whole second season thing, the whole us against English teams, like, we're just not good. But the one thing in our advantage, I would say, against the Spurs is it's really hard to beat one team as many times as Spurs will have to beat us in a row. Because it'll be 5 now or 6 if we get to the final and they beat us. So it'll be a pretty insane amount of straight wins for one team against another. So probability wise, that actually works out for us. Outside of that, though, yeah, man, we're just you kind of said it all. Like, we're now in Europe where we are better than these teams because our players are better than these teams. In the Prem, our players aren't. So as we get more players in, as Amorim sticks to his guns, and the man, I just love that he keeps doing it, like, we will be fine. Like, the whole Ugarte thing, where I think people need to start paying more attention to what his true role is. Like, stop wanting him to be what he's not. He's going to prop up in the right spots. He's going to do things like that flick on was perfect. He's going to be that kind of player, very utility, very all over the place. He's not going to be flicking passes around. And then Casemiro, once you give him time on the ball, it's a wrap. Like, like him for Spanish teams especially, like, when you give Cass time to pick a pass or to see the next player, to just understand what's going on in the flow of the game, to organize people, he is who we all know him to be, which is one of the greatest DMs to play the game at the end of the day when you look at his resume. Maybe not in the Prem, but before he got here, that's what he was. And it was because of what we see tonight. Doesn't happen as much in the Prem, and I don't think it will happen on a consistent basis against teams that can quicken the game up. But like you said, he's no longer on an island. And for me, you mentioned a player there when you were saying the players you want in, like Ederson's. For me, you see how this worked tonight. You get in an Ederson, that's a perfect player to put beside a Ugarte at this stage, because he would do exactly what you saw Casemiro doing, except he's 10 years younger. You know what I mean? So if the profile of players we continue to go after and whatnot fit this system, then I'm amped. Like, I got to say, like, that's what's made me the happiest about tonight, is seeing the system work, seeing the players get up for it, listen to instruction, and of course our captain is. I'm just so tired. Like, people just need to shut the fuck up about Bruno. Like, people that play, like, people who are United fans, who aren't United fans, like, just stop talking shit about him. You clearly haven't been watching him for the last 15 games or whatever since Amorim came in. He is a completely different player under each manager, and there's a reason, because he's a good player. When he played for Portugal, he plays a certain way. When he played for Erik ten Hag, he played a certain way. When he plays for Amorim, he plays a certain way. He plays the exact way that the managers ask him to play, and because he has so much quality, he looks good doing it regardless. Under Erik ten Hag, there was a dip because everybody dipped, but he was still our most consistent. So it's just, I'm done with it. The Bruno slander's over. And yeah, man, that's it. I gotta go get a cut because my daughter has an audition, and apparently they might pick the parents. So I gotta look good.
You're
commercial.
You're fucked then, bro. You're in trouble.
She's cute though. She's carrying it.
Just let your beautiful missus and baby go, and you'll get the job, my friend. That's
yeah, man.
Listen, you enjoy it. Have a great day with your family, brother, and good luck to the little one. And we'll speak soon.
Congrats, Kate.
Thank you.
I have been called out, and I have to address this because it's really serious because I didn't enjoy the Messi versus Ronaldo debates for years. I thought they became heavily disrespectful and nasty, and it's true. We should not be comparing Yamal and Maguire. We should just be enjoying both wingers, right? Thank you, love. We should be enjoying both wingers. We should be enjoying both their brilliance in European competitions, and I apologize for comparing the two of them. That was very, very wrong of me. I agree. I'm going to go to KJ in a moment, but Kate, a big night for your Tottenham this evening. It's great to see you back on the show as well. Long time no see. 3 goals, a little one conceded at the end, but you must be feeling very confident about making that final now.
This is Spurs we're talking about, so I'm not feeling massively confident, but I am confident. I thought we played well. I think Sam Matface put it perfectly. He said we played 84 minutes of perfect football and then a crazy goal, really. Their first shot on target went in off of Bentancur. But all in all, I thought we played brilliant. Went all at them and made them look average, but it's going to be a completely different story at their place. They don't lose very often at home. They're going to be, it's an artificial pitch. It's going to be bloody freezing. But you know what? I would have taken a 2-goal advantage at the start of the game. I was a little bit nervous because with Spurs, a bit like Man United, you literally never know what you're going to get. So I am really pleased with how we played, and I'm really delighted that we're one-footed to the final. But just like you guys, the one team I did not want to be playing in the final is Manchester United. It was like when we got to the Champions League final, the one team I didn't want to play was Liverpool. Any team other than an English team, I didn't care, but just not Liverpool. And it's going to be the same thing if if it goes to plan and the way it's looking. It's going to be another all-English final, and oh my God, the thought of playing you guys and losing makes me feel physically sick. I might actually go into hiding for 12 months. Sorry, KJ.
That makes no sense. The thought of losing to Man United in a final when we are bigger than you as a club.
Yeah, not because you're you're not better than us, but because of the stick that we will get. That we
I agree with Kate. Sorry, KJ. Kate is 100% spot on. The issue with the All English finals, obviously the last one that happened, the social media era, was big, but it hadn't quite boomed at that point. The last time United had one was 2008. I don't know the first time, only one we ever had. Social media probably didn't exist in 2008. I think it was a few years later. I still think it's worse if Man United get beat by you because we're the bigger club and have more rivals and the expectations. But I do hear you completely. It will be painful. I mean, by the way, we both still got to get there. I don't actually want to be disrespectful because we concede an early goal and get a man sent off. The game could change. Same for yourselves. But if we're being honest, if we're just talking about the standards and what we expect, both teams should see the job through from here. I think that is not disrespectful to expect that from here. But I hear you, Kate, completely. In terms of your team, maybe a couple of injuries tonight, though. Maddison had to go off. Solanke. What's the word on the two of them?
Well, obviously, it wasn't a great start to the night when we found out that Bilbao's out for the rest of the season, and it looks like Sonny is out for the rest of the season as well. So that was a bad start. And then obviously Solanke was down for quite a while. Madder's limped off. I've got a feeling Maddison's going to be okay, but Solanke, obviously, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I thought every single player of ours had a good game, except there was one bozo minute from Romero where he just lashed out at someone when he didn't even have the ball. It was just craziness to get a yellow card. But I would just like to say that's how you make an atmosphere in a European fixture. I think Arsenal fans should take note, because our fans did not stop singing from the second they entered that stadium until they left. They really were the 12th man tonight, and we needed it. There's been a lot of disharmony around Spurs. No one likes the manager, or very few people like the manager. We're sitting, near the bottom of the table, but we all came together tonight to cheer the boys on, and I think it made a difference.
Kate, you make such a fantastic point. The only thing that's annoyed me about the knockout phase of the Europa League is that Chelsea and United and Spurs have been on at the same time. So I've not been able to focus on the other games as much because my team's playing. But I did watch your tifos and the way you did the crowd up, the noise, the singing, and everybody put what I saw in the stadium tonight. I don't know about the online fans, but in the stadium tonight, everybody seemed to put their agendas, their wants and desires aside, and got behind the team. And of course, that helped you. I think if this is what I would say to online fans sometimes is, if the fans in this crowd acted like we did online sometimes, there'd be zero atmosphere. And so, yeah, your fans tonight, I would say, they were brilliant. It looked great. The stadium looked amazing. It really, really did. The second leg is going to be such a contrast, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's going to be such a contrast in where it's at.
Our stadium holds more than their whole village, like their whole town of Bodoe Glimt holds, which is bonkers. So it's going to be an artificial pitch. Like I say, it's bloody freezing there in the middle of the Arctic Circle. But you know what? If it's meant to be, we'll get to the final, and then it's anyone's game. We all know, and on a final, a one-off game, anything can happen. But I just want to get there first before I start thinking about anything else. Just get to the final, and then we'll see for there. It's amazing. Two teams, like you say, that we've both been so bad this season, literally so bad. And one of us is going to sneak in the Champions League through the back door, quite possibly. It's hilarious, really, when you think of it. I've seen people coming out in the paper saying there's no way Man United or Tottenham should be anywhere near the Champions League. It's a disgrace.
Can I just say, right, the only thing I'll challenge you on is I wouldn't call it the back door. We would be, along with Liverpool, if either of us makes it to the final, and we should, and then one of us wins it, we would be the only team in England, aside from Liverpool, that would be in the Champions League through winning something. The idea that's through the back door is an abomination of a footballing opinion. It's an absolute abomination of a footballing opinion. And for me, that is just from bitter people that know they only really... There are certain journalists out there, and there's certain TV shows, and there are certain YouTubers even, that only make money when Man United or Spurs do badly or something bad happens. So the idea we could get something good, it makes them angry to their core, so they've got to find a way to shit on it. So for me, it's no backdoor. Whichever one of us, if we're both in that final and one of us wins it, we will thoroughly deserve, because we will be champions of a competition to go to the next one up. It's no one said that West Ham got in the Europa League through the back door when they won the Conference League. No one all season. Everyone's expected Chelsea to win the Conference League. No one has said, oh, Chelsea could be in the Europa League via the back door. No one. Why suddenly Man United and Spurs being treated that way for clicks, bruv? So again, as the clickbait king, I can fucking read it a mile away. KJ,
I'm gonna go. Sorry, I'm gonna go.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Say hello to your husband for me as well. Hope you're all good.
Yeah.
Say hello to Jimbo for me. KJ, my brother.
Yes,
my brother. Oh, the boys did it tonight.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. First of all, I just want to say, I want to quote the great Kobe Bryant. Job finished? I don't think so. Job's not finished. The job is not finished, but what we have done is made it a lot easier for us in the next game. Today's game, this goes to show that this United team, when they are confident, when they are on par physically with the opposition, we can compete. Because that's one of the main things I've been upset about this season. We can't compete with teams. We find it difficult just to compete with teams. And today, we competed. We were shaky in the first 20 minutes. I was not happy. And the first 20 minutes is why I was worried about this game. I went to this game saying, look, if I can give me a draw, I will take it right now. If we lost, if we lost by one goal, if it was like a 1-0 loss, again, I would take that going into Old Trafford. But to go into this game and win 3-0, yo, it's just one of those nights again where the odds are stacked against us. Everyone's writing us off. Everyone's saying that we can't do it. Even myself, as a United fan, is feeling nervous and feel like we can't do it. And we've gone and done it. The first 20 minutes, we held on. We rode the storm. And then we showed a bit of quality. Granted, we got a goal disallowed for offside early in the game anyway. So we just showed them. We showed a little bit of something early on, saying that Bilbao, you should be careful. That we're not here just to get rolled over. And then we get that goal, and you just see the confidence come back into the team. You saw the pressure released off the team, and then everyone started to play how they can play. And then the penalty. Let's talk about this. This penalty that we got was clear, cut, obvious. It's a blatant penalty, and it's a blatant red card. And people are going to be like, oh, but Garnacho's handball. Garnacho was getting up. It was in a natural position. It was in a way that he couldn't have done anything about it unless he had no arms. And we've seen it many times in both in Europe this season, because they changed the handball rule this year, and in the Premier League. If people are falling or getting back up and the ball hits their hand, they don't call it. They don't give it. So people, I just seen he's come backstage. Yes,
you
my brother.
fraud. You fraud.
Here we go. Who am I apologizing to today? Here we go. Is this the apology tour?
The manager, you bitch.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking, brother. I'm joking. Welcome.
Yeah. So that doesn't get given. We've seen it not get given many times. So people can stop crying about that, yeah? People are going to be like, oh, but the red card on Maguire. The guy fouled him first. The guy dragged him back.
Which red card are we talking about? There's no red card.
I'm addressing people in the chat who was trying to say, but
no, the chat can hold that, bro. Can I interrupt you, TKJ? I'm sorry. I'm coming in with good energy.
No, you Staffy.
I'm coming in with good energy. Let me
cook. Turned up, bro. You just turned up.
All right.
Be on time, and then you can go. You know what I'm saying?
So I redirected at least, so there we go.
Yeah, we both agree though. The chat can hold that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they can hold that.
Rovers in the chat can hold that. You know what I'm saying? Maguire got my foul first, so everyone stop complaining. What Man United did in the second half? Let's talk about that, because the penalty, well taken by Bruno. Second goal, woo, what a finish! But what was the best thing about this performance is that second half. You know why? Because we kept our nerve, we kept our bottle, we gave Bilbao hardly anything to work with. And you guys know, if we had conceded one goal in this game against 10 men in their stadium, with that crowd, with that atmosphere, you got Mandem like Lindelof melting, bruv. You're gonna have Odana fumbling the ball. So we did the right thing. I understand what the super chat Joshua Jack was saying earlier about wanting an extra goal. I want an extra goal just to feel safe. We've all got PTSD from this entire season. I get that. But this is actually a better thing to do, showing that we can actually slow their game down, not make it basketball, not feel like we're hurried and we're stressed to try and find another goal. We kept it cool. We kept the ball. And yes, it was sloppy at moments. But towards the end, we almost scored a few goals. Good saves, some close finishes, some close shots, just missing. But that's what I wanted to see from Man United.
Yeah, I will agree. And before I know, we are going to go to the Chelsea boys. We are going to bring the callers in soon. We've got super chats as well. But I do think as well, we have to admit it's about time that this happens. What I'm about to show you happens at the club. And I'm sure we're all in agreement. This must happen.
Terry, by the way, Mamau is probably the worst prop name.
Harry Mamau. That's all I could think of. I literally was like, I was trying to think of what could Maguire go with as a winger, and I was like, my dyslexic brain just went. I wrote MA and I went, oh, Mal. That's all I could think of.
Harry Mamau works. That works. Harry Mamau works. Yeah, Mal works. I think that works better.
Harry Yamal. Yeah, that probably works a little bit better. Harry Yamal.
Whoever made this photo, I'm not gonna lie, this is clean as fuck. It's the cleanest Photoshop I've ever seen. Well, it's not even Photoshop. It's AI.
But before you switch on, I just want to do a quick shout out to Maguire, to Casemiro, to Bruno Fernandes, but especially Maguire and Casemiro, because in the commentary is mentioned, and I agree with it as well. The two players that probably has been the most maligned in the fan base for like different reasons, they're the ones showing up and stepping up for this team. They're the ones popping up with important goals, assists, pieces of play, moments in the game. And it just goes to show the professionalism of these two players. Because it's easy for Maguire and Casemiro just to be like, you know what? Everyone hates us. We're earning a lot of money. Bro, I'm not even going to try. I'm going to down my tools. I'm just going to chill, put minimal effort in each game. And then whatever happens, but I'm just getting my money. But both those players have stepped up, especially in this Europa League.
Before I go to Staffy, I'm going to end my little bit by just saying this. I actually understand where Staffy comes. I wind him up a lot, but I understand where he comes from, and I agree with him where I want to see the technical floor of our team rise up. And I actually think if our players had been technically better on the ball in the opening 20 minutes, we could have scored some earlier goals as well because they were there for the taking. But when Casemiro was getting that criticism and analysis from the likes of Carragher, leave football before the football leaves you, his legs are gone, he's finished. I had games where I criticized him as well. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite and say I didn't. But the one thing I was shouting about is if we're ignoring the system and the holes, because we saw a young Mainu go in there and basically have his hamstring snapped by how much covering he had to do. The man and between that and Amorim, the next time United fans, somebody says, show me a player this manager has improved since he's been here, just say Casemiro. Because we are getting Casemiro back to what he was brilliant at Real Madrid for all those years. We're never going to make him play like Paul Scholes. He's never going to ball like the greatest of all time. That's not his game. But what he did tonight was the best of him. We need to add more into this team. But he was fantastic tonight. So well done to him and well done to Maguire, because the winner in the last game, what he did on that wing with the chop and the cross, you just, how many centre-backs do that? It's a European semi-final as well, boys. It's a European semi-final.
He did him twice. It's the fact he did him twice. He did him once and said, you know what, bro? I'm going to do you again. I went round the outside. You know how insane that is? Man went round the outside on the wing and whipped it across.
I don't even think
our wingers could cross. Our wingers are making that cross, bro. It was insane.
You know what? I'm going to run this agenda. There we go. Amorim has improved Maguire's dribbling. Prove me wrong. Yalla, you guys always ask me these dumb questions where like, oh, why did he improve Garnacho's ball striker or Garte's passing? Yalla, he improved Maguire's dribbling. Yalla, prove me wrong. Since you guys ask these dumb questions. But listen, man, what a game. What a game. I'm not gonna lie. I think even the most optimistic of fans wouldn't have predicted a 3-0 win, let alone a win in general, because most of us said if we leave with anything that's not a loss, we'd be happy with it. We said a 1-1, 2-2, whatever it is. If you don't lose in Bilbao and you go back home, you're happy with it. Let me remind you, this is the best back line in La Liga this season. Actually, no one conceded less goals than them. So you went head to head with the strongest midfield. The strongest back line in La Liga this year. I think, listen, Sanchez not being available for them was always going to be a miss. But that guy number 7, I always mess up his name. I'm not gonna lie, he was cooking us in the first 20 minutes. He was doing a lot. He was stringing everything. He for the first 20 to 30 minutes, he looked like the best midfielder on the pitch. He got that shot on target where he worked Onana. He played that one ball to Inaki where he headed it and went over the bar. He's a good footballer. I've never watched him before, but he looked very good. You can already tell that he was a very good midfielder. I think he was eventually a miss when he got subbed. The start was very poor, I'll be honest. I think we were all just sitting there, not really content. We're not comfortable in our chairs. We know that for the first 20 to 30 minutes, if United would have been losing 1-0, not because of the volume and chances, but the way they were outclassing us on and off the ball, they were getting the ball real quick. Their press was good. They were putting us in a situation where I had to kick the ball long and they'd recover it very quick. And then they would take their time, pass the ball around with more accuracy. I wouldn't have been surprised if we didn't take the lead, if they took the lead. And the first goal, shout out to Maguire for whatever the hell he did there, because I couldn't believe how he had him on skates. Quite literally, he had him on skates. The cross, I don't think that Ugarte header was deliberately to Casemiro, but Casemiro was on the back post. And there's one thing about Casemiro. I'm telling these people right now. And I tweeted that. That's one positive tweet that Terry is never going to bring up. This absolute fraud only brings up my bad tweets, never the good ones. I said I think Casemiro's going to have a good game today. Not any footballing reasons why. It's just solely because this guy, I know today he was in legally, he was in Spain. He's within the surroundings of Spain. He's under the Spain sun. Every time he's in Spain and he smells that Spanish weather and that Spanish wind, and he gets that vitamin D from the Spanish sun, I know he's about to turn into the best player in the world. That's him. Put him in 90 minutes in any Spanish soil, and he's about to be the best player in the world. And he gave us that. And I wasn't surprised that he was clutch on that back post. Because he's probably the best player that we have in aerial duels between everyone else. So I wasn't surprised to get him there. But I will be honest, from there, I still thought like it was a goal against the run of play. This is the biggest part for me. And I want to praise this referee because we don't usually praise referees at all on platforms. We usually come out here to criticize them. But True. This referee, I don't know who he is. I don't know what his nationality is. But I might watch whatever league he's from. I might just watch this league to support him. Because the way this guy... There we go. And you know, when I tweeted that, people said, oh, it's a bad jinx. It's a bad jinx, Staffy. Shut the fuck up. There's no bad jinx today. That referee, in those 3 minutes, I've never seen a referee get 3 major decisions right back to back to back in such a short sequence. Garnacho slips, falls onto the floor. Everyone says handball. It's not a handball because he fell and the ball touched his hand because he was breaking his fall. The rules already tell you when you're putting your hand to break the fall, it is not a handball. We seen it last week in La Liga. In the Copa del Rey final. I think it was either Rudiger or Asensio. One of them, they're making a tackle and they were breaking the fall and the ball hit their hand and it was never given a penalty. So we already seen that. So that's the correct decision. Number 2, Rasmus. Good run, by the way. Rasmus Premier League and Rasmus Europa League are two different people. I don't like the one in the Premier League. This one, the one that I saw today, that's big body Rasmus. That's what I'm calling him. He was a big body today. Big body Rasmus is what I saw today. He makes that run. He gets pulled. And right away, I swear to God, I didn't need to wait for VAR, none of that shit. I told everyone that's right away a penalty. You can see the pull from Vivian, that little pussy who's trying to fight him on the floor anyways and tell him to get up. He pulls him. He impedes him from getting to the ball. That is directly a penalty, 100%. The reason it's a double jeopardy, and I used a very good example for the people who forgot, we saw Declan Rice get called a penalty on him against Mbappe 2 weeks ago in the Bernabeu, and it got overturned. When they explained after the game, Christina Uncle explained it. She works with the Refereeing Association on CBS. She said the reason it wasn't given is the proximity of where the ball is. So the ball was too far from Mbappe anyways. So Rice didn't stop him from getting to the ball. He was not going to get to it anyways. And it wasn't enough contact. When you look at that pull, he pulls him enough where you can see that he was going to go and try to tap it in anyways, but it kind of goes onto his right foot and he kind of like does like a little salmon spin. It just looked like he knocked him off his of getting to the ball there on time. And the reason it's double jeopardy is because he had no intention to play the ball. Now, a lot of people said to me in my watch along, oh, this is a little bit harsh. It should be a yellow, but I don't think it should be a red. Don't argue the rules. The rules tell you when you stop someone from a clear and obvious goal-scoring opportunity with zero intention to play the ball, it is a red card. Not enough people on the space and on this platform are educated to speak on that. That's why people who know, please educate people, and people who don't know, please listen. If Vivian would have made a slide tackle, and that's the example I gave, if Vivian would have made a slide tackle, misses the ball, but he fouls Rasmus, that would have been a penalty, but not a red card because he intended to play the ball. It is a written rule that when you don't intend to play the ball and you stop someone from getting a goal-scoring opportunity, it is a red card. And that's why I said the referee was absolutely amazing. From the handball to the penalty and to the red card, 10 out of 10 decision. I'm not gonna lie, but some of the best refereeing that I've seen. And I know the Bilbao fans were pissed. The players were surrounding him. They were trying to fight him. I just love that he didn't cave into the pressure.
Yeah,
and he gave that penalty. Yeah. And last thing, obviously, I know I rambled on for too long. Last thing,
no, you didn't, mate.
That Bruno goal. Listen, that's probably the best goal of the game. The two, obviously, one was a penalty. One was like you could consider it a little bit of a lucky header. That's probably the only positive contribution I've seen from what's his name today, Ugarte. But Bruno, ice cold, man. I think I said it after the Lyon game, if you remember, Terry, and the match reaction. The way this guy has such an erratic nature to play football, yet he is the calmest person I've ever seen take penalties, and he was so calm in that 1v1. It's baffling to me. I don't know how he can even do that. He's such a chaotic player until it comes to being composed, and he knows how to be composed. And you were absolutely spot on, KJ. My 3 man of the matches today were Maguire, Casemiro, and Bruno. And I'm going to give Bruno praise again because I got accused for years of just having a Bruno agenda, and people never listen to anything I say, and that's fine. I got used to it at this point. Maybe my takes are too intelligent for some people. That's a joke before anyone gets offended. Bruno, I swear to God, he is a different player since January till now. He started the season horribly. That red card, I believe, against Wolves changed him completely. He's everything right now. I would say 90% of what he is right now is not what I used to criticize him for. The way he's matured his game so much, the way he plays with less risks at times, the way he knows how to keep the ball moving sometimes, the way he plays with more leadership. I think if it wasn't for those 3 red cards that he got early in the season and that Wolves one, where I think he really did a lot of self-reflection after that red card, I think if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be seeing this Bruno. And I'm going to leave it with this. This is probably not the best Bruno, statistically, not the best Bruno we've ever seen. I think it was second season he had the most GNA, so it's more than this one. I will say this and I'll say this again. This is my favorite Bruno ever in a United jersey. I didn't like the old Bruno. A lot of you guys love the old Bruno. A lot of you guys like to pretend that he's always been playing like this over the last 6 years. He hasn't. The way his game has matured so much, the way he can impact the game without giving me a GNA, I didn't need him today to score that 1v1 to know that he had a good game. It was enough that I seen that composure on the penalty and the way he kept everything ticking.
But you said something there. He's a chaotic player. I don't think he is.
He is.
He's good. No, but the reason why I don't think he is, because he's like this for Portugal. Whenever he goes to Portugal, his game changes, and everyone's like, "Why can't we get this from Man United?"
KJ, I was about to say this. I get what you're saying, Staffy. For me, what we're seeing from Bruno is what I always saw. But where I didn't blame Bruno is that since he's been at the football club, what was our style of play? Who was our manager? What was the system that we were playing in? We all moaned that there was no system under Ollie. We all moaned there was no system under Ten Hag. Bruno Fernandes, like most football players, and I know we moan nowadays that players are too robotic, and systems have always been an important component of how we play. Let's not pretend that managers didn't coach players to stay within certain areas of the pitch, stand here when we're in possession, do this when we're being attacked, do this when we win the ball. That's always existed. That isn't a new modern day thing. Bruno Fernandes is benefiting from a team that is being drilled well. And by the way, I don't want to even get into that old United bullshit. If Martial was 5 years younger and still here, he'd be cooking in a team like this. Pogba in a structured team would be cooking. The problem we had as Man United fans is we got dragged into this gutter fight of player v player, my baller versus your baller, because the club was being run like shit, because we had no style of play, because we didn't have a manager regimentally drilling us to perform in a certain way. So everything was so sporadic and up and down. This is what happens. And this is why I know you did the same stuff here. I know KJ did. And I know we've still got a long way to go. And tonight doesn't prove Amorim out as wrong at this moment in time. And that isn't what I'm saying. But I still believe you keep building, you keep giving this manager what he needs, better technical floor, better physical capabilities. And you will see by this time next year, everybody will be eating their words when it comes to Ruben Amorim and Ineos in terms of progression. I am so sure of that. And Bruno Fernandes is a standout example of that. He really, really is for me. Viewers, look, we've got callers to bring in. We've got the Chelsea boys been sitting there patiently. I'm going to do a few super chats first. I can't ignore them, guys. I'm very sorry. This here says, feel sad for Amorim haters. They will be hiding tears and pretending to celebrate United's win. I'm gassed. Let's go and win a trophy. I'm not going to lie, Nabil. When I didn't want to... I nearly tweeted this, and I don't actually mean it now. When the game ended, I nearly tweeted, anyone who's Amorim out that's celebrating, fuck you, you can't join us. I calmed down. I don't really mean it, but that I boiled up. I really boiled up because I do think Man United fans have turned a little too early on the man. Terry, thoughts? You're an Arsenal fan. Why are you happy? I know you're joking, obviously. That's it. People always say that I'm happy when Arsenal win. If you watch Man United's games like tonight versus when Arsenal do well, if you cannot see the dichotomy and the difference, you must be Stevie Wonder. Just want to remind Terry that he said a few months ago that Spurs would never beat United in a final in his lifetime. That's why I'm nervous, GB. That's why I'm nervous.
We might have to ban you from the terrace to the build-up to the final.
And that is
man.
why I believe we'll lose, because Terry Judge is the strongest judge.
We might have KJ, you might have to host until the final then.
No,
It may be true.
Here we go. If we lose to Spurs, Terry must give me all of his shares to the Football Terrace.
You can go fuck yourself for that one, mate. This here is a great point from Machiavelli. Through the back door is whoever finishes fifth. Do you know what's ironic? If it wasn't for Tottenham, Man United, and Chelsea's performances in Europe, there wouldn't be a fifth place position for the Champions League. So the idea that we're the backdoor merchants is crazy. I spent £10 on a chat for Tuesday and you didn't show it. I'm very sorry if I missed it, my friend. I very rarely do that. I apologize massively, Robert. I'm very, very sorry. Can't wait for Hassam and Mo to downplay the Europa League. They're not even showing up tonight. We're out. They're never out.
They're outside.
We're outside.
Ain't it like midnight in Jordan? What's going on?
Staffy, do me a favor. Insult them in Arabic, please.
Listen, I'm not gonna insult Mo. I respect my elders, and Mo is big brother. Hassam, Hastizi.
Yeah.
Can we submit an application to be in La Liga? Listen, it's one of those weird ones, isn't it? Like Barca might win the Champions League, but English teams are doing very well in Europe this year.
Wait, on that point there, you know who came to my chat? Will, Real Madrid will.
Hey.
It was 0-0, and he said, "You're getting cooked by Bilbao. This ain't the Premier League, low bro." As if I actually do well in the Premier League anyways. I was like, bro, I still get cooked in the Premier League. I swear to God, not even a few minutes later, the whole game just changed. And he just disappeared. That is pure football gods there.
This is going to be hard for me to say, boys, but Kravak Maguire Skillia rolls.
Maguire Skillia, that's crazy, bro.
Maguire Skillia rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Listen, he rolled off that. He rolled off that fullback tonight and crossed that ball in brilliantly. Expected United to win, but Lord, what a surprise. Return leg for Bodoe Glimt could still be something to watch. I do agree. I feel if Bodoe Glimt score early, all bets are off. It's anybody's game. Because it's the one thing, it's not even the artificial pitch. They're only going to have 400 fans there, and that makes a difference. It makes a difference. It really, really does. If you're an Arsenal fan, how are you feeling right now? Oh, listen, there will be Arsenal fans. There is no doubt about it. The idea of a Man United Spurs final must be painful for them. It must be painful. They're probably their two biggest rivals in England.
United Spurs final, by the way, that guaranteed us over the next few weeks we're going to have conversations about who had the most successful season. We always find these conversations every time.
Content is written. Andrew, you were here first. Chelsea's won tonight. Chelsea had a good game tonight. What were your thoughts?
I'm going to go because I got to go catch my next game. Let's go Knicks, man.
Cheers.
Peace.
So thanks, Terry. So the game was good. The game was good for most of the game, let's say. And there were some moments where, like, honestly, if you didn't tell me who was playing, you can tell the level of the league. It's really, sometimes it's comical where they're taking the ball off each other. And, those guys, even if they had the chances, I think they had only about 2 chances. Probably they converted one of them. In terms of the good players, let me just talk about the good things. I think Enzo played really well today. Noni played really well today. And I think that these guys sort of like created, and obviously Noni scored. Enzo made the assist for, again, Sancho. I don't know what Sancho's been doing, but he's in the recent times, he's been in the, on the goals sheet, either assisting or scoring. I think he really wants to stay at Chelsea. So Sancho's played really well. Jackson for me was the pleasant surprise that he came, and today he sort of played, and it could be because of the level or whatever, but his second goal was really, really cool. The way he took it, it showed like a striker's goal. He took the ball off, so Caicedo sort of intersected, but he did this roll with his right foot and then finished with his left foot. It was a really, really good goal, and it made me happy to see that it sort of shows that there is some confidence that's come back, which I'm really, really happy about. Jorgensen had like a pretty decent game, let's say. Like he really didn't have to do anything. That the one goal, I think it was Sancho's mistake actually, who was not covering his man, and that's why he sort of came from behind and headed it to the ground and it went in. But yeah, overall, I'm happy that we are almost there. I just hope that we like, you know, keep a clean sheet and play a good game back at the Bridge, because like the other game that we had previous to this, their crowd was the 12th man. Like they kept cheering and they kept like, even when they scored like their only goal, even though they were 4-1 down, it felt like they equalized, you know, because that's how.
Can I ask you a question? You won comfortably, but I still felt like they created a number of either chances or openings where you would maybe expect a better team to score. I didn't watch the game thoroughly enough to give that as a wholehearted opinion. There was just a few times where I thought Fiorentina or Betis might punish you there. I don't know if I'm being disrespectful in saying that.
Sure, Terry. Like the thing is, like I said, for me, it is the scoreline shows like it's comfortable. But this Chelsea team, I think it was about maybe the 70th minute onwards, they kept letting these guys take control of the game. And I don't know, is it a mentality thing? Is it they're switching off for some time? Because it felt like they scored 4 goals and now they just want to like close the game out. They're trying to like, because if they still play with a little bit of intensity, they could have scored 1 more goal or at least control. So this Maresca's mentality of saying we want to control the game, we want to hold the ball, but they're not really doing that. You know, like maybe the stats are saying that they're holding the ball, but if you watch the game, they're not passing the eye test. They seem like they're scrambling, they're almost conceding, and like it was. So there was moments in that game. That's why I said, like, I think after the 70th minute, it was not comfortable, and they could have scored, because if those guys scored 1 more goal, it would have been nervy at the Bridge, because we saw what happened in the previous game, because they came and they won at the Bridge, the other team. So, but apart from that, like you mentioned it in your monologue, I'm really, really happy about what Brentford did just now, because then
mate, that's probably more important to you guys tonight. Really, I forgot the game was on, and it was maybe about 70 minutes on the clock in all of our games. I thought, let me go and check the result. I was like, fucking hell, Brentford won 2-0 at the City Ground. And look, you know, the Liverpool game, after Liverpool squad's going to be hungover. So, you know, regroup yourselves. You go and get something positive at Anfield, and Champions League football beckons. It really does. Elijah, what did you make of tonight, my bro?
I mean, listen, it was a really game of great good football, to be honest with you. Like the first half, it was solid, really well solid. Like the fast pace, you know, the quick ball, you know, one touch. It was brilliant, and I've got to give the manager credit, because, you know, both our wingers were able to score goals. Like, you know, it was decent. Like, it was a really good performance from everyone. Like, James was decent, could have got an assist as well. Madueke scored. Jadon Sancho scored. Yes, he took a deflection, but he did really well. Enzo Fernandes, 2 assists, you know. He's getting really good, like 90 GA this season. It's not bad, you know, from Enzo Fernandes this season. And I have to agree with Andrew, like the surprise one was Nicholas Jackson, you know, because if you look at the second goal, it's brilliant finish. And, you know, and Cole Palmer came on. I mean, he got an assist, but for me, I'm still waiting for a goal, man, because I don't know what's going on with Palmer, man. I just really don't know whether it's his confidence or the fact that he's not thinking properly. But listen, I just hope he turns up.
He almost scored again.
Yeah.
Like,
he almost scored, exactly. But listen, the substitutes, I was pretty surprised to see him making 4 subs in the second half. But I do get it, because we wanted to kill off this game, and it worked. You know, Caicedo came on, got the assist, you know. And also we brought on a 16-year-old, and funnily enough, he could have scored as well, but unfortunately it was straight at the goalkeeper. But listen, it was a good game, and listen, this week has been a very good week. Arsenal lost against PSG. Chelsea women became champions yesterday when we beat Man United away, and also Brentford beat Nottingham Forest 2-0, today. So it's been a very good week. We got Liverpool next. I'm just hoping that we can get something from that game because I still don't feel we're going to finish in the top 5. But let's say that we do win against Liverpool, then maybe I'll start to believe that we'll get Champions League next season. So listen, good game. I just hope we can build on this on Sunday, and we got them. And let's see, man. We are 2 wins and we're 1 game away from being in the Conference League final. It could be World Betis or it could be Fiorentina. That's going to be tough.
Yeah,
but we should try to win it.
Don't
Yeah,
let
but
Anthony
then-
dunk on your
you know
head.
what? Also, you're missing one other thing tonight. Sancho getting a goal. I can't wait to get my £25 million for him.
Yeah, but that's what I said. I said Sancho scored. For me, that's
Anthony scored tonight, so that's going to be some
Yeah.
money for us. Everyone wants Rashford, so listen, Ineos, you picked the right clubs to loan these players
Eddie, I
to.
have a question, because I'm not sure about it. I have a question. I think that because Caicedo got a yellow card today, and they were saying it in commentary, but I'm not sure about the rules. So if Caicedo gets a yellow card at the bridge now, does that
No,
mean that he misses the...
No.
All you. This is about 6 years ago now. All UEFA competitions, basically now, unless you get a red card in the second leg of the semi-final, you're guaranteed to play in the final. So as long as he doesn't get sent off, you don't even need to bring him on. Like you should be resting those players there.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring on some callers in a moment. A few things here. Let's talk about Bruno. 37 GA this season, please. Listen, Bruno is a player I've rated for a long time. I'll hold my hands up, and he was a player's name, along with Rashford and a few others that I spoke about, and I was being objective with when I said that maybe they need to move on as part of sort of poster boys of the failings of the last 4 or 5 years. But as I also stated, that whenever you change, and the regime has changed, the structure's changed, the culture's changing, the manager changed, there's always players that you don't expect that step up. And sometimes there are players you expect to step up that fall away. And Bruno Fernandes has done himself so proud. He's adjusted, he's adapted, he cares and loves his football club. I get the criticism that he receives at times. I've always felt it's been a little bit over the top, but that man has delivered. He is the highest goal scorer and assister, like as a collective number, in the history of the UEFA Cup and the Europa League. I think he's the joint highest goal scorer in the competition this year. From a Man United fan's perspective, I hope we go on to win it. Of course I do, because that would give him a European trophy, FA Cups, League Cups. Then I just hope that before he leaves, he can be pivotal in us winning a Premier League one day. And as crazy as some people may think that sounds, it's because Bruno is one of very few players over the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years who wasn't part of Fergie's regime that I would love to go on and gain an element of legendary status of some sort. Because I really do think that he has dedicated himself to this football club. Could we get Sancho versus Anthony in the final? We could. I hope. I actually want Real Betis versus Chelsea in the final. That's my personal pick. That has been my whole season. Personnel doesn't matter. Every game we give gilt edge chances. Truly surprised we haven't conceded more this season. Yeah, I think in a lot of your Conference League games, I've watched a number of them. I've been surprised sometimes, and I've sat there and been like, how did that team's had 4 or 5 brilliant chances, haven't scored, you've gone up the other end. But your final is your hardest. That's what I would say for Chelsea. Chelsea's final will be, without doubt, the hardest game they've played in the entirety of the competition. So I'm excited about that, because I actually think, unless your form continues to improve, it's a bit of a leveler, if that makes sense. I think it's a little bit of a leveler with the form there. First caller of the night, we're getting on Enrique. Enrique's coming on the show with us tonight. What are you here to say, bro?
Got to go, Terry. Big up.
Cheers, Elijah.
First of all, good evening, gents. Pleasure to be on tonight. I mean, how is the audio, by the way?
Perfect, my friend.
Okay. I don't know if you can actually see it, but United through and through. Before I get started, whoever manages your guys' Instagram, I need to have a serious word with you guys. I sent you a couple messages. I sent you a message like a few weeks ago asking to come on, and also like 6 months ago. But
that's Dre.
As I say,
Dre. That's not me. That's Dre. Dre runs that.
If you could maybe like bring me on like top 6 or straight facts or whatever. Because also yesterday during the Barcelona monologue, honestly, because I'm also a Barca fan. Mo, 2 clubs, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I wasn't happy with Mo, to be honest, with some of the things he stated, but that's another story. First thing I want to address tonight is I want to come back to Kate's point in saying that United being near the Champions League is a disgrace, because I don't personally think it is. Because
sorry to interject. Kate didn't say that. Kate didn't say that. Kate disagreed with the journalist that said that, just to put that out there.
Okay, I was gonna say, because
Cheers.
it like really, how shall I say this? Because I think under Ruben Amorim we have improved. Like, people who say we haven't improved, that's bullshit. Because under Ten Hag there wasn't really a system where like we weren't comfortable on the ball, we had no idea what we were doing. Whereas with Amorim, that has changed. We try and keep the ball, we try and with the balls over the top, we try and do this and that. Granted, Newcastle game, it didn't work out because Newcastle is a very good high pressing team, but yeah, there has been definite improvement, and I've said this for ages. I want to shout out Bermuda Guna as well, because she's a good friend of mine. When she sent out a super chat the other day, she was actually in Austria, which is where I'm from. So, as I say, and as I say, I do believe there's improvement, and I've said this to her. I've said this to anybody who understands football. Sorry, I'm back. Can you hear me? Anybody who understands football, I personally want to give Amorim 3 to 4 years, and in the latest 3 to 4 years' time, we will be fighting again for Premier League titles. We saw the same with Arteta. It just takes time. Problem is, we, as Man United fans, are partly too impatient. That's the problem. But I do believe...
Enrique, I hear a lot of what you're saying, mate. I really, really do. And I think we need to give him more time. And I think we need to be more patient. And we have to, at the very least, give him a pre-season and buy him some players. Enrique,
exactly.
Thank you for coming on and giving us your opinions, my friend. Great first call on the terrace. And it'd be good to get you on again, brother. Thank you very much indeed. James is with us next. James, what are you here to say, bro?
So, lifelong United fan. I've had to deal with it this season because my parents are Liverpool fans.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this has been the season of hell, to put it bluntly.
You should emancipate them, bro. That's what you should do. Jesus Christ.
Over the moon with tonight. First goal, Maguire. Holy hell. It was like watching Yamal on the wing. with that cross. I was like, holy beep when I watched it. Second goal, the penalty, straight red. Me and my dad watched it, and I said, that's a penalty. Once I said, I think that's a penalty. And then once you're waiting on it and you saw the highlights, I'm like, if that's a penalty, he's off. Because it's a clear pull on the shoulder, and Højlund has a tap-in. He has a tap-in if he ain't, adjusted there. Yeah. I'm like, if that's given, it's a red card. And I know the Bilbao fans are about to go mad. Third goal, wonderful. Was super happy for that third goal from Bruno right at the half. And then what made me so happy was the second half. Yes, we could have maybe got a fourth goal, but the fact we were locked down and very professional in that second half, where we, locked it down, kept it clean sheet, and took the advantage. I did not want to concede in that second half, so that chuffed me out. Very happy.
No, same, mate. And I think, James, we have been a team that has struggled for years to shut games out, slow the pace, control it, be mature. And I thought we did that. That actually impressed me in the second half. I wanted more goals, I'm not going to lie, but I was impressed with how we we just nullified the game. We made it a ball fest, and everybody tuned into the other game. It was great.
Not only that, take the Lyon game. We were 2-0 up at half time.
Mhm.
Like, with that atmosphere, it was said in the, when the panel was on, with that atmosphere in Bilbao, they get one, they think they can come back, even with 10 men.
Yep.
Like, just look at the last leg. So that's why I was like, all I want United to be, I said to my mum, I was watching it with my mum, my dad buggered off the gym after the second goal went in. He was like, fuck this, I'm not staying. So there we go. So pretty much when it was the second half, all I said to my mum is, I want us to keep it professional and just see this game out. Keep it professional, see it out. Now, with the other results, I think United, it all depends on the first half. If United can keep them out first half and all that, I think time will be a factor. Like, I'm hoping for a professional performance to go into. I'm not saying the ties are over, by the way, even at 3-0.
Yep.
I mean, last leg should have proven that.
No. I think we need to be humble as fans, and I think we need to keep it together in that way. James, brilliant call. Make sure you phone into the show again.
I'll be happy to come on anything.
We're bringing call-ins back to our match reactions, so make sure you're calling in again.
I'm happy to be here again.
James.
Thank you for giving me your time.
Top man, enjoy your night, brother. Next on the show, final caller of the night, we've got Tony. Tony, what are you here to say? Who do you support, and what are you here to say, mate?
Spurs fan here, mate. Basically, just want to say that we've done well tonight. It's 3-1. It's 3-1 at home against a team that have, don't get me wrong, it's Bodoe, Glimt. We should be beating them. But I do feel like 2-0, a 2-goal lead. We've got to just be positive with this and take this to the next game. Basuma tonight. Where's that performance? Where has it been? Tonight he's been something else. Like maybe a system that Ange played, like with the 4-2-3-1. He hasn't done that, and now you can see like the dynamic between him and Bentancur in the holding, sharing the holding role between them. It just worked tonight. I just don't know why tonight it took for that to see all season, because compared to what we've done all season in the league campaign, I'm just glad that we've seen it tonight when it mattered. It's just I hope we can take this now to the next game.
Yeah, Tony, I've said this about Spurs a few times this year. I've seen a number of games. City away was a standout example where you score goals, you were compact, you defended well. It's just not replicated itself enough. If you were this defensively sound in 50, 60% of your games this season, you'd be well in the top 8, top 6 in the Premier League. So I hear you 100%, mate.
It doesn't make any sense, does it? Really, like we can do this in the European campaign right now, a game that matters. But the way that we should be playing is that every single game in the Premier League should be like that. Should be the way we're playing now, like tonight. Don't get me wrong. We've still got the Spursy complacency in us. That's what you saw in the last goal that we conceded. It was just silly goal. But we're gonna do that with this system that Ange plays. But I like the fact that it was 4-2-3-1. We played like that. We're solid for like 80 minutes, and I haven't seen the whole season. So I'm just glad it's like this. 3-1. I think it's enough for us to get to the final and see you boys in the final.
It should be a Fluers derby. Me versus my dad in the final. That's what it should be. My old man Spurs. So it should be us versus them. And as I said at the beginning of the show, if they beat us, I'm not going to see my dad till his funeral. That's it. I'm going to avoid it.
Fair. Well, if we get to the final, I've got tickets to get to watch it in the final. So I hope.
Nice, mate. Nice. You enjoy that, mate. Tony, make sure you phone in again on Spurs games, mate. Great talking to you tonight. It really was.
Take care.
Thank you, brother. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. Please hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. We're not redirecting to anyone, are we, tonight? They're out.
No,
they're out.
They're
out.
They're outside.
They're out on a Thursday night. They're never out on a Thursday night. We're back tomorrow with more content, including fan channel review. We've got straight facts. City are playing tomorrow as well. I forgot about that. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And come on, United. What a win.